So here I am just minding my own business, scrolling on Facebook the other day, and I see a post of a woman who's fairly overweight doing some powerlifting. And I looked at the comments and people seem to consistently say that she should stick to cardio. Well, is that true? Can you lose more weight doing just cardio, or does weightlifting help? I want to discuss some of that today. And since I am a personal trainer who has some real world experience and a degree in exercise science, I want to give my 2 cents. So let's get right into this. Now, the first thing you have to understand, to be successful, you have to be in a calorie deficit. I've seen people accomplish this by being in a calorie deficit and doing cardio, or just being in a calorie deficit and doing resistance training, or just being in a calorie deficit and not even working out. All three can be successful, and I've seen it in real life. My typical recommendations for my clients are resistance training twice, maybe even 3 times a week for a half hour to 45 minutes. That's not a lot. But maintaining a calorie deficit of 300 to 500 calories at least 5 or 6 days a week. And on top of that, doing some light steady state cardio. Things like walking or biking, where you're hitting 30 to 60 minutes a day, where you're keeping your heart rate at a low to moderate intensity, because this makes it harder to spike cortisol levels, which can make it more challenging to lose fat. Well, that's great, but what's the research have to say on this topic as far as what's better? Well, a 2021 study included 12 different systematic reviews, totaling over 140 different studies. And what did it have to say? I want to try to explain this the best and simplest way that I can. What this research found was that exercise led to significant weight loss, fat loss, and visceral fat loss. But real quick, what is exercise? This could be any form of physical activity, walking, biking, or weightlifting. And the research was able to find that there's no difference between the intensity of your aerobic training as long as you're hitting the equal amount of energy expenditure, meaning walking and running will yield the same results as long as you hit the same amount of calories burned. And those doing resistance training, basically weightlifting, actually had a better ability at not losing muscle mass. Now, the moral of this story is that that woman who was trying to lose weight and she was already doing weightlifting, it's probably going to have good benefits in the long run because she's not going to lose as much muscle mass. That is something that's pretty common that I see when people do start losing significant amounts of weight. There's all these variables that need to be dialed in and perfect, like your sleep, your protein intake. And as soon as these things aren't perfect, you're going to lose a little bit more muscle mass than you might like. Doing resistance training can help retain some of that muscle mass. So I think this goes to show that the people in the comment section in the internet videos aren't the most informed, and you're still good to do resistance training if you are overweight and you're trying to lose weight. I do think there's probably a happy medium to try to balance. I think doing your cardio and doing some resistance training can be beneficial. If you're just doing straight powerlifting and you're doing maybe a set of 1 or 2 reps, probably not the best way to go about it. But hey, if that's something that you really enjoy, keep doing that. As long as you stay in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose the weight. I do think we kind of come into a little bit of a problem area if we're in too big of a calorie deficit. That's why I typically recommend 300 to 500 calories. Anything more than that can get a little bit more complicated and makes it so you end up losing a little bit more muscle mass than you'd like. But that's another conversation for another day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. YouTube thinks this video is best for you of my content, so click that and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.